Alrighty, so now it's, what is it, middle of January? Yeah, middle of January. 4 weeks away from sap time, making syrup. So now it's time to build an evaporator. So what we've done is we've gone big, boys and girls. We've gone big. We went from, let's see, showing my junk pile here. We went from that little rascal, that little barrel stove, to commercial grade. Well, we're going commercial grade now. So where we're at is high dollar, high tech. We're going to that bad boy. Now, I have never made a boiler of any sort out of an old fuel drum. I went to YouTube University. I got a master's degree in doing this now, so we're golden. We're golden. I know exactly what I'm not doing. So first step is going to be to fall off this ladder that I just climbed up onto, and start with cutting the door out. So what I did on the other deal, the other boiler, was to take that door frame off. So I traced it out there, and we're going to take a grinder. We're going to cut on this line, generate a whole bunch of sparks, and in the process, we're going to find out just how much fuel oil. Hey, looks like I got a booger. I do. All right, we got that out of there. Anyhow, we're going to find out just how much fuel oil is in this dude when I start grinding. Let's find out. Well, so far, no fire, but we are going to have to change our grinding wheel because I wore it out. So anyhow, so what we've done, so I just took the grinder, and I'm just grinding my line. So I'll cut this piece out, and this is the flange area that the outer part of that door bolts to. So we'll go ahead and change the wheel on this dude. And we used her right up, we did. And we'll put a new one on there. And never can remember how those darn things go on there. Anyways, we'll get back to that in a minute, and I'll come back when I got the centerpiece there all cut out, and we'll see what I'm doing from there. Okay, folks, what we've done now is we've finished cutting our hole, but I gotta clear something up here. And grinding on this fuel oil tank, it was rinsed out. I was making funny, ha ha ha. I don't want anybody grinding on a tank that's not been cleaned, that could cause it to explode or have a fire in it. Folks, use your sense, common sense there on that one. And when I was changing a wheel on the grinder, it was unplugged. So please use your head. I do this as funny and ha ha comedy, goofy papa stuff. Anyhow, on that safety note, please use your head when you're doing this kind of stuff. What we've done is got the hole cut out. This is, ouch, my finger in the way. Anyhow, this is the flange that now goes around the door. And then this is the door that would go on there. So that's going to be my fire pit. So now what I'm going to do, because I'm using 1-inch angle iron, and that's how I'm going to line these cuts for my pans to sit on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1.5 up, draw a line across here, and that's going to be where I'll cut. That'll be the bottom that my pan will sit on. And then I've got 9-inch deep pans, so I'm going to go from this 1.5-inch line, I'm going to go up 9 inches, and cut across, and then I'll wind up cutting down the side 2 feet. I've got 2-foot pans, so they're going to be stacked. So you'll have, let me get off this ladder so we don't break our darn neck. Anyhow, it'll come down, it'll go up 9 inches, it'll come down 2 feet and across and cut. And then wherever this line is at, it will go up 9 inches and then go down 2 feet and cut. And this back pan will sit higher in the front pan because the back pan is going to be our preheat. So we're going to pre-boil our sap, and then we'll run it off into the main evaporator pan. It'll make a little more sense, I think, when I get it all cut out. But anyhow, that's the thought process. So I'll get back to you here in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I went ahead and made all my marks on here to set my pans a 2-tiered like I want, and I'll give you a quick rundown what I did here. So I went from the front, that bottom line is 24 inches, up 9, 24 again, and then I just used painter's tape. Whatever this corner measurement is from here to here, I made sure it was the exact same on the other side, put painter's tape on there and just traced the line over to make sure I had that curve and a semi-close connection. So anyhow, all of this here gets cut off, but and then this bottom line right here is where the bottom of the first pan will sit, and then it'll, as you can see, it'll set on this line here. The next pan will sit on this line here, but it allows for gravity feed from the top pan to the bottom pan. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out and give you a little idea of what it was supposed to look like anyway. So
I'm glad you're doing it.
alrighty, so I'm back after grinding for a bazillion hours. But anyhow, this is this is obviously going to be the section where either the chimney comes out to the top. We're talking about running it out the back, because if I got to trim this back some to make these pans fit. So upper pan drains down into the lower pan, and then that's the piece that I cut out. And I would strongly suggest to put a strap on these buggers when you go to, where are you going, Mother? To put a strap on these, because I went to cut and then that round steel popped out, and by golly, got me a jumping just a little bit. But anyhow, so now basically that's the shape. Like I said, we'll trim, make sure I've got the 24 or 25 inches that I need to upper tier the pans. And then all of this piece is used for the inside of the pan or the boiler for your little wall. You got to put a divider wall down the middle here, and then the back part, that piece there, all of this gets welded to the face of that, so that encloses that off, gives you your chimney. But anyhow, 3 hours of video or 3 hours of work for 15 or 20 minutes of video. But hey, I got coffee. It's right there. All right, excuse me, eating peanut butter jelly sandwich. Okay, well, we're gonna continue on with the boiler. We moved it, the clubhouse, so it's in here. We're gonna take and repurpose all this metal. It was a packing crate for this one's for the wood chipper. Yeah, I'm gonna grind all this off. I need this angle iron to weld up along the edges here on the evaporator. So we'll show you that, and we'll get back to it here in a excuse me, in a few minutes, and see what kind of a mess I can make out here. Alrighty, we got that black metal all broke down, and so it like so. So we've got just a cart full of scrap pieces. I got big chunk of angle iron. These 4 big pieces I'm going to cut to fit. But anyhow, so like I said, they're going to go on the boiler. So this is what I'm thinking. This dude is supposed to go like so. So those will get cut and welded into place, and then there'll be another one, you know, obviously that goes across here, and then that'll be for the pan to sit on. So that's going to be the next step, is making those. They got to be 27.5 by 25, excuse me, both of them, to get the pans to sit on. So I'm going to go ahead and start on those, welding those up, and then we'll get to critique my high school welding days, which were a couple days in my past. Okie dokie, back working on the boiler for the sap shed. Got a safety tip for you. When using clamps like this to weld all your stuff together, and you're doing all this fancy dancies, and you got one hanging out here, and that hat is attached to your head, take said hat, put it back on your head, and take that fancy little dancy sharp edge right there and put one of these little safety flags on it. It takes the pain out of everything. Alrighty, we're back on the evaporator again. We went ahead and put the rails up for the sap pan to go on, so I'll show that to you in a minute. But I took that piece and we cut it out. Off the top that was here, that was the end, it was down here. So now we cut it to fit right here. So that'll slide across like that, and then we'll weld all that on, and then we'll weld everything that's like this will go here. There'll be another pan that sits on top. This is a piece of this that we cut out. Get welded in right in there, so that will be all covered. And then the pan. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to lift this thing. Sits on like so. And then there's another pan exactly like this that sits here. So it'll just sit up this high, and then it'll drain down to this one. And so we're really close to putting it back out in the sap shed and getting the fire started in here pretty soon. So, all right, let's see what I can screw up with now in the welder. So we'll see in a little bit.
Well, that looks good, babe. Yep. Notched around that. That looks really good.
Well, it's on there.
Hey,
so,
good job.
Alright, we're got her all welded together, and we're ready to take her out to the sap house, sugar shack, excuse me, and put her all together. So what we've got is, let me go this way because I don't have a lot of room. We got this pan, goes there. This band goes there. And so that's where we're at. So drain from here. This one will preheat, drain down in this one, which is boiling, which then makes the syrup. But I have reached the achievement, the major goal that every YouTuber ever wanted to make. We got mail from Amazon from I don't know who, but it's to us. And I opened it up, so your YouTube status when people start sending you equipment for your shop, for your YouTube channel, we are official, folks. We get gifts in the mail. Yeah? Thank you, whoever sent this, because I don't know who it was. All right, next time you see this video, the big green monster will be out in the sugar shack. See you guys. Well, when it's too big to pick up, you go a different way. On its way back to the sugar shack.